All right, welcome to Talking Investing. I'm Tom, and as always, this is not financial advice. Today, I want to do our daily Bitcoin miner update. We're talking about Bitcoin and the Bitcoin miners. We do that all the time on this channel, so if that's content you're interested in, please remember to subscribe to the channel and hit the notification bell. Also, if everybody could please smash the like button, I appreciate it. Everybody's been doing a great job at doing that, and it has been helping out a lot, so thank you very much. Lastly, you can become a member of the channel by pressing join. So if you hit the join button, you can sign up and be a member of the channel and get some exclusive content, as well as once a week we have a members-only live stream every Tuesday after the market closes. So we'd love to have you along with us and help support the channel. Okay, let's talk about Bitcoin and the Bitcoin miners. I want to start with talking about the market today because the market had an unusual green day today. The S&P 500 was up 2.59%. The Dow was up 2.66%. The NASDAQ was up 2.27%, and the Russell was up 2.65%. All four of the major indexes were up between 2 and 2.5%. So Friday was a very bad day. Some of the indexes hit their 52-week low on Friday, and there was a lot of gloom and doom going into the weekend, and everybody assumed today was going to be a very bad day, but some stuff happened over the weekend. Well, I'll do a separate video on the market overall, but just suffice it to say, there was a little bit of relief. The dollar pulled back a little bit, and we ended up having a very big green day. A lot of the large cap stocks and extra large cap stocks were up big, so that's the main thing that was driving the market. So it wasn't so much small caps or high growth stocks, but the big stocks were up big today, and so the indexes were up big as well. Bitcoin did have a decent day, but you're going to see it ended up pretty close to where it started, and the Bitcoin miners had a green day, but there was some mixed results as well. So if I look at the big board, you're going to see the vast amount of stocks today were green in the Bitcoin mining industry. Cypher was down 7.14%. So that was a very big outlier on a day where almost everything else was green. Mawson was down 2.67%. Iris Energy was down 1.94%. So those tended to be lagging. CleanSpark was flat on the day at 0. So, those were the laggers on the day. There were others up 5, 6, 7%. DigiHost was actually up 10%. And then TeraWulf, stock ticker WULF, they were up 12.7% on the day. So that was kind of an outlier in the other direction. Hut had a very good day, up 7.3%. Core Scientific was up over 5%. So you can see lots of 2s and 3s and 4s and 5s. This was a green day almost across the board with a few exceptions, which we're going to dig into a little bit at the end of the video. Okay, this is Bitcoin on the 15-minute time frame. As always, there's an orange line where we closed on Friday when the equity markets closed in the US. So Bitcoin closed at around 19,479 on Friday. Here is today's close. We were at about 19,546. So that is very close. Essentially, all weekend long, we did have movement up and down, but by the end of the close today, we were almost exactly where we were at the end of the close on Friday. So there was some movement over the weekend that we need to pay attention to, but we pretty much ended up where we started. So in light of that, the fact that Bitcoin was mostly sideways from Friday, the Bitcoin miners actually did have a good day in comparison, being by and large very green. Okay, I've switched over to the 4-hour time frame. So if we look at the 4-hour time frame, this gives us a little bit of a better picture of what actually happened over the weekend. Even though we finished where we started, we did take a journey over the weekend. So you'll see this was the close on Friday. We went down significantly for the most of the weekend. So we were down just under 3% from top to bottom. And then we seemed to turn around and have a bunch of green candles. So we spent half the weekend going down. We spent the other half of the weekend getting right back to where we were, including Monday. So you'll see these two 4-hour candles right here were the trading day today. So 2 green candles. One was a very big green candle. We're very comfortably above, again, our green line at 19,200. So that has been a line that's been switching between support and resistance. If we just go back a little way, you'll see that for this period of time, for these few weeks, it seemed to be more resistance. We spent most of this time under that line. We then had some major volatility, and we seemed to flip-flop to above the green line. So other than 2 4-hour candles, we've stayed above that for the last several days. So all in all, this is a lot of very sideways activity. Having said that, we bottomed out on September 21st. and that was at around 18,150. So that was not near our summer bottom at around 17,600. Bitcoin has not tested its summer lows. A lot of the indexes, actually all the major indexes, have retested their summer lows. So many of the Bitcoin mining stocks have, whereas others are nowhere near their summer low. So it's been a mixed bag. However, Bitcoin has not retested, and to me, I maintain it does not look like it's going to retest that summer low. If I look at the RSI on the 4-hour time frame, you'll see we finally we spent days here, 3 or 4 or 5 days, just above or just below 50 on the 4-hour RSI. So 50 is absolutely neutral, so no momentum in either direction. But today you can see things picked up. We are now at 57.5. So at the same time as that happened, we did have a bullish crossover on the 4-hour MACD. So those two things together are starting, in my mind, to skew a little bit bullish in the short term. So again, I'm not calling for a bottom and I'm not calling for a bull market, but it does look, again, I have been calling for this relief rally that has not really manifested itself yet. We're very many weeks into going sideways. So, to some extent, we're doing some major consolidation here, which can be very healthy. But we have not had that relief rally. I'm looking for that potential run back up to $25,000 for Bitcoin. Okay, so if I go to the 1-day time frame, you'll see the same thing here. We're a week and a half away from closing at a new low, which was at 18,462. So that was a new low for the daily candle close, but that was not a low for Bitcoin. Bitcoin did hit its low back in the middle of June, back around 17,500 or 600. So we have not gotten back to that point. And since then, you'll see, I just put a little arrow in, a yellow arrow here. You're going to see, this is a 10 or 12 day period. The momentum has clearly been to the upside. So it's not been drastic. This is not necessarily a relief rally. We're trading somewhat sideways, but you can see this line is going up and to the right. So the momentum is heading in the right direction. Today was a critically important day. This green candle, to me, helped solidify that we may be on this relief rally that I've been waiting for. Okay, so if I look at the RSI on the 1-day time frame, these are the last few things I'm waiting for. If we can just cross this barrier, we're now at 48.5 on the daily RSI. So 50 is neutral. We've been under 50. We pushed up to about 48 last week. Now we're up at 48.5. So we're very, very close. So the question is, are we going to get rejected at 50 again? Or can we cross above 50 and maybe get one of these little relief rallies, even if it's just, even if it's just one of these type of rallies right here that is just a week long, that was a nice couple 1,000-point rally. What I'm really looking for is one of these relief rallies. This was almost 2 months long, and you can see this went from about 17,500 up to 25,000. So that was a very consistent relief rally. We did have our ups and downs, but for about 8 full weeks, we were headed straight up. Obviously, we've given most of that back, but I do think this looks like a lot of consolidation here. So we're going to have to see if the next move is to the upside or the downside. We have a lot of good indicators showing us that there's a potential we could continue to move up. If I look at the daily MACD, you'll also see we're well into a bullish crossover. We're printing green candles on the histogram, so all that's moving in the right direction. You can see we have not built up massive momentum in either direction on the histogram, but we are in the green right now. I want to take a look at a few stocks in specific, a few of the outliers today. The first one I want to look at is Cypher. So Cypher was down big today. Cypher was down over 7%. And remember, everything was fairly green today. There were only a few outliers, and Cypher was the biggest one. So for whatever reason, Cypher has now taken out its summer low. So back in June, Cypher hit a low of $1.26. On Thursday of last week, it took that out. On Friday, it opened and closed below that. And today was another down day. We're going to open and close below this previous low. And this is their all-time low. So because they're a fairly new company as far as being publicly traded, $1.26 was their absolute all-time low back in June. They're now at $1.17. That's their new all-time low. So now we're 3 days into setting new lows here. So there's the potential that Cypher has some more downside to come. It is acting counter to all of the other Bitcoin miners right now, just in the last 3 or 4 days, that is. So if I look at the RSI, it's not yet in oversold territory. It is dipping pretty low to a point of support, but it's still over 30, and Cypher's gotten under 30 several times on the daily RSI, so there is still potential, some more room to the downside for Cypher. No unusual volume, no new news that I know of, and Cypher is yet to start making monthly reports, so, we're going to get a lot better picture of what Cypher is doing. Hopefully in October, November, December, they will start to issue a monthly report and they'll have some significant operations up and running where they can start telling us what they're doing. In the meantime, with a lack of that, this stock continues to slide downwards. TeraWulf is having the exact opposite reaction. So this is TeraWulf on the 1-day time frame, and you'll see today was a gigantic green candle. Just 3 days ago, we had another gigantic green candle. So the last week and a half, TeraWulf has moved up significantly. It hit new all-time low on September 26th. So that was just over a week ago, and that was at around $1.03. So at its high today, it was up almost 45% off of that. It closed the day up about 37.6% off of its lows, its all-time low, which was just last week. So this is a company seems to be the opposite of Cypher. This company seems to have found its bottom. It did take out its previous lows already, found a new bottom, and now seems to be rapidly on the move up. So we'll have to see if that continues. If I look at the RSI on this one, you'll see it finally did get over 50 just a little while ago on September 28th. Retested 50 and bounced off of it on the way up. So there is the potential that Wolf is in a little bit of a run here. So this may not yet be over either. DigiHost did also have a good day. They were up over 10%, but most of that was very near the end of the day. So that was on fairly low volume, and it was skewed towards the end of the day, so I'm not sure we can read anything into that at all. You'll see DigiHost is off of its lows, but even today it came close to revisiting its recent lows. So from its low to its high on the day today, there was a 25% change. So I do think this was a bit of an anomaly. I'm not sure there's anything to be read into this one. So this was at about 71 cents at around 3 o'clock this afternoon, and then it just leaped to 79 cents. So again, I think we're going to see this straighten itself out tomorrow, but we'll see. I'm going to finish up on the 4-hour time frame. You can see we are still above that orange line from where we closed last Friday. We have several green 4-hour candles going in a row here, so we'll see if this momentum can continue. That's what I'm going to be looking for overnight. Can we get some momentum overnight? Can we get some momentum and keep the momentum going on the 4-hour RSI? And can we get over 50 on the 1-day RSI for Bitcoin? If we can do those things, I think we can continue this run. I'm not sure how much of the market can continue running. We will see, but I do think Bitcoin has some room left to the upside, and Bitcoin has been outperforming the market for several weeks now. So let's see if that continues. All right, that's all I got for you today on Bitcoin and the Bitcoin miners. Thanks so much for watching, and we will see you in the next video. If you made it this far, remember to smash the like button and subscribe to the channel. Thanks a lot.